Is happening, sports fans? It's your main man, Matt, from the DFS 5-pack. I am rocking it solo. It is Saturday, December 4th. Here to talk over some NBA with you guys. Got 6 games to talk about. Excited to dive into it. Ton of good plays on this slate. Before I get into the NBA, going to shout out the promos we got going on with Jazz Sports and Loose Line. So I've been mentioning it a bunch recently, but in case you haven't heard, if you sign up for Jazz Sports using our promo, you get a no-risk wager up to $1,000 in your first bet. So 1K back if your first wager is graded a loss. Really can't beat that. That's at Jazz Sports. And then at Loose Lines, it's a site that I've really become accustomed to. You get really good lines and odds, reduced juice, and a ton of other perks. If you sign up there, you get an additional 50% off your first deposit. So a ton of great stuff going on over there. As I've mentioned, I'm going to have some more sports betting content coming out for you guys in the next week or so. Excited to do that. But in the meantime, we got some NBA to crush as far as DK goes. So let me screen share this and we'll be on our way. The NFL info will be out later tonight. And yeah, that's all I got before we talk over some NBA. All right, so obviously, as I mentioned, a ton of good plays on this slate. There's injuries all over. So mainly there's an overload of guards and big men that we're looking to roster. So keep that in mind when you're building tonight. That just is what it is. Starting out at point guard, I think Drew Holiday looks like a lock in all formats. The game, not the greatest spot against Miami, but with Bam and Butler out, their defense obviously takes a hit. We've read this book before with Giannis doubtful, probably not playing. Holiday's too cheap at 7,700. He's going to take on a major, big time usage increase for Holiday here. He's going to play a ton of minutes, have the ball in his hands a lot. Under 8K, he looks like a lock in all formats, even on a slate with a ton of good guard plays. A big reason why we feel comfortable locking in Holiday at point guard is because we got Brunson to throw it in at shooting guard. Probably even more of a lock than Holiday given their prices. With Luka out and Porzingis out, Brunson looks like a free square in all formats. Back up to 32 minutes last night. I imagine he plays even more tonight. And he's another guy with Luka out, going to have the ball in his hands a ton, going to play more minutes. With the Mavs' best player not playing, there's just a ton of usage to pick up for them. And Brunson's going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest beneficiary, lock in all formats. So as I mentioned, the guard position is loaded. Center position is pretty loaded. The forward positions aren't that loaded. So a guy I'm looking at, even with a ton of other value across the slate, is Terrence Davis. This guy's playing well for the Kings right now. 3,500, small forward eligibility. Harrison Barnes is probably not going to play again tonight. His minutes are a little volatile, but he's got 21 plus in 4 straight. Again, priced down to 3,500. I imagine he plays the same role he's played the past few games. And against the Clippers team, he just dropped 38 DK points against. So Kings coming off, their first win since they beat the Lakers a few games ago. I think the Kings play well here at home, coming off that embarrassing loss to the Lakers when they got rolled in the second half. And Davis is a guy that's been playing well. I like him a lot here at 3,500. Again, so much value on this slate. I wouldn't call him a must because, again, you got to spend up somewhere. But at a weak small forward position, I like him a lot. All right, a couple guys left, both value plays. First is going to be Serge Ibaka. So not 100% positive he plays tonight because they played last night. He played 29 minutes, but with Paul George out at 36, or with Paul George questionable, at 3,600, Ibaka just looks like a lock to me. Even if George plays, he's playing big minutes right now. He's starting, price down to 3,600, price plateaued at 3,600. We know who Ibaka is. Again, I doubt he's going to, 10x here and give you 40 plus DK points and break the slate. But at 3,600, he's just a cog type in all formats, a guy I'm looking to build around, presuming he plays, of course. Last but certainly not least is one of my biggest locks on the slate, and that's going to be DSJ, none other than Dennis Smith Jr. So we know who DSJ is, Not the greatest NBA player, but a pretty good fantasy player when he gets run. 19 and 17 minutes the past 2 games. Don't even care about that. I care that Lillard's out, and now Anthony Simons is out. Opens up a ton of minutes in this Portland backcourt. They're shorthanded. I think Smith sees a ton of run with McCollum tonight in that Blazers backcourt. And at 3,400, I think he definitely has 10x upside here. He's a guy I'm looking to play in all formats. If I were playing one lineup tonight, he would definitely be in it. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Short and sweet today, only 6 games. Mostly value plays to talk over here, and that's the theme of the slate. A ton of good value plays tonight. So as I mentioned before, when you're building, keep that in mind. If you want more content, more videos, any of that stuff, go check out the DFS 5-pack. We'd love to have you. I'm excited about the stuff we got going on, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks again, guys.